Hi everyone, happy Sunday morning, happy Mother's Day, and welcome to my vlog for the week of May 2nd. It's been a slow and a fast week at the same time, if that makes any sense. I hung up my paintings on the 1st of May. However, by the time I went to get my flyers printed, the print shop was closed, so I had to return on Monday to take care of that. But that's also now taken care of, so the paintings are now on display. And after that, I have another show coming up on May 21st. So I wanted to paint something different. It's like if I have chocolate and then it feels too sweet, so I want something a little salty like chips and all kinds of bad food. But I get the idea what I'm trying to say. So I decided to work on some abstracts. And the beauty that I'm finding, I find painting abstracts very difficult. But it's also so much fun because I can change it all different directions. And before I settle on what I call is the top and what you call is the bottom. Now, why is it important to know which one is top and which one is bottom is because I have to add some hanging hardware to the back of them. So can't really hang up painting till I, at least in my mind, know which one is the top from which one is the bottom. But until I decide that, I am having a lot of fun simply turning them around and seeing. And till I have sealed these paintings, I keep on adding touches and sometimes changing the whole patch of color around. I would say I'm approaching this far more playfully than I was doing it with the series that is in the exhibition right now. And I enjoy doing that as well, but this is kind of different. And I see so many things when I turn it one way and then something entirely different when I turn another way. And I think that is what I'm enjoying the most about these things. I have a few, like this one. I decided, this side is going to be the top, and then I scribbled into wet paint, and then I knew this is going to be the top, so I signed my name at the bottom. But for most of the pieces, I have no idea, and I'm kind of enjoying the ambiguity of it all right now. I started week 13. Yes, week 13 of my 100-day project today. And this week is with Brene Brown. And I can relate to so many of the things I think everyone can, because the topics of her work, what she addresses, is so universal. And there are so many quotes. I'm like, today is day 85, and I feel like 100 days is not enough to get all the quotes that I like to read over and over again. And but I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but I'm glad I did the 100-day project with the hand lettering that I did, and just to get all those quotes in a series of sketchbooks, just to read them, not even though in the context of the original books themselves, they still are so valuable as standalone quotes. And I'm glad that I compiled 100 quotes for the project. And I don't know. I have no plan what I'm going to do going forward, because thinking up 100 days took up enough energy and I haven't thought beyond it. However, I did enjoy the process, and I think a huge part of creativity, sustaining creativity, is enjoying it, and whatever else is, it reveals itself in time. However, I'm glad I did do the project, and that I'm 85 days strong, and I hope to finish the remaining 15. And then when I reach that point, maybe I'll have other ideas. Well, that's enough about that. And I'm doing my May sketchbook, and this time I did the cover first. Wow, that is an accomplishment for me. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go through everything, but you can see in the very beginning I was still sketching out things for the show, and then it was like after completing most of my exercises for the Sketchbook Revival 2022, which ended on April 30th. And I enjoyed doing I would say I enjoyed doing them all. I didn't do them all very well, but I did enjoy them. However, once I was done and I looked through the things over and over myself, and I understood that at this point in time, I would prefer to return to my original intention of keeping a sketchbook in the first place, which was to keep drawing, that is a skill that I want to develop much, much more. And while I enjoyed all the samplers and everything, for me, for something to be a practice, I think I am going to return to my intention of keeping a sketchbook where I draw. So that is what I kind of felt like, and I really enjoyed doing that. However, so I just returned to that drawing everyday situations. Like we got this, what do you call this, Mandalorian headband for my daughter for the 4th of May. And she put it on and she smiled. I took a picture and then I drew it. That is what I need to keep doing. And if I am doing other things that I learned in a Sketchbook Revival or, educational events like that, I would most certainly learn them, practice them, at least, to know what I want to do and going forward, but to return to my original focus and intention of keeping on drawing. Yeah, and this one I did for one of the Faber-Castell blog posts for month of May, and this is a video. I will link it in my description box below. This would probably be this is going to be the first video in the Drawing from Life playlist. And yeah, at the end of May, I'm going to have my May sketchbook flip through. But yes, after Sketchbook Revival, I did revisit my intention of keeping a sketchbook to begin with. And I also want to thank everyone who did my exercise, Matisse on My Mind, from Sketchbook Revival 2022, and shared their work on social media like Facebook and Instagram. And as they came in, I shared them in my story, because it is always so inspiring to see how another person who doesn't know me in any other way takes inspiration from an idea that I came up with and translate it with their creative skills. And that is such a gift, because it is like, you take something that I offered and then it's like you gave me back. I gave you the ingredients and you gave me a finished, completed dish. And that is so, so wonderful. I'm so grateful for that. And I tried to keep up with all of the posts that I was tagged in, and I tried to, come and like the post, comment, if comment, like other than the fact that I love that you did it, if there was something that stood out to me, I would leave a comment and also share it in my story, just acknowledging and my gratitude and your creativity for taking on such a skill and sharing your work. That is so important, sharing your work with each other without the judgment. And so I'm very, very grateful for that. And I am, as I mentioned before, I am one of the artist teachers for Messy May, which is like a daily-ish art journaling challenge. And I spoke about it in my last vlog. I will leave the link for you to, if you choose to. If you are not already subscribed to it, you could do it. It is with Get Messy Art, and the event is free. There is no cost attached. But just, if you are trying to, if you are looking for more, if you are stumped for a prompt when you are sitting down to create, you have a little time and you are stumped for a prompt, this would be a wonderful place. And other than that, the lessons themselves are so lovely, like how every artist is approaching a topic. So I did one, mine came out on 5th of May, and my topic was courage. So my lesson is posted on Instagram. You can see it on my feed. And I am also doing the prompts. I'm doing, actually how I'm doing it is, I'm looking at the prompt and doing it a day before the lesson is posted, because once a lesson is posted, it's very tempting for me to go look at what the teacher did and then do it like that. But of course I can still do that, but I want to do my interpretation of the prompt before I see what the teacher did, just so I can see what I would have created if I didn't have a visual input. So that obviously that is not always possible, just for the sake of time, but when I have an idea that is clear in my mind, it doesn't take very long for me to execute it. And I will just share some of it with you. I think this needs to be a flip through, an art journal flip through of its own when it's all done. But after talking so much about it, I want to show you something. So I wrote down the prompts, and I boxed the one that I taught. And I think I posted a snippet of this on Instagram, on my Instagram as well. But this is this was Kaylee's assignment. I made my journal long before Messy May, and I had no idea that this was eventually going to be my Messy May journal. But I did it. I prepared a journal. Sometimes I'm inspired by the papers and stuff that I find, and I want to bind it into a journal without any specific plan for it. And I have ongoing journals like this all around me all the time. Not precious, nothing precious. So yeah, this was like Kaylee Gray used a picture, and I did not have a tiny picture like that, and I did not have a device. I could have printed one, but I was lazy, so instead I just drew my face. These are my hands and that's my face. And I just, it's like introduce yourself to your journal. So it's in the spirit of that. And then, I'm interpreting everything absolutely in my own way, rather than doing it the way that the teachers are doing, which are also very lovely. I mean, if you want to learn, you will learn something from them. But this was just my take. And this was my own lesson. And that's in the video that I just mentioned. That's on Instagram right now. And if you are subscribing through the registering for the event through the link that's going to be in my description box, you can see it in your laptop, bigger screen than just on your Instagram, if you like that. Some people prefer mobile and some people prefer bigger. So this was my lesson, and then I had some extra thoughts on my own lesson, and then I wrote those down. And yeah, so far this is where I am, and my stuff is turning out to be very different from what the teachers are teaching. I liked I think it was adventure, Claudette, I believe that's, oh my god, I should have done my homework before I started talking about this. But I believe it's Claudette who was doing bundle dyeing with flowers, and it was so, I enjoyed watching it. But when it came to flowers, I even found flowers, like flowers found me the next day, but I couldn't bring myself to boiling the flowers to make them to extract the pigments in them. So instead, this is what I ended up doing. I collected the flowers and I drew them. I couldn't boil them to make them into dyes. I don't know, that might change over time, but for now I just couldn't. And other than that, what else is happening in my life? Oh yeah, so I got this. This is my sage. This is my cork, it's a cork coaster. And this is I have spoken about all of this at length in other videos. So I got this, I got my, what do you call this? My lighter. Goodness, if my lighter would just light up. Sometimes my lighter doesn't listen to me, like my children. Anyway, but it does work. Otherwise, I would not have it still. What I'm finding is that if I just light one end of it up, it burns for very little time. So what I need is little charcoal rounds that you light up, and then you place your sedge or whatever it is you want to burn in it, so the smoke keeps coming and the fragrance keeps spreading. But I didn't know that. So for me, it's now like I'm just relying on however long the sage burns by itself. So that is still a work in progress, and I couldn't even light it. However, it does light. I have done it and it smells so good. And what else did I do? Oh goodness. One more thing that I realized is that I always notice that no one ever comments on my videos. So I thought. And I thought, oh, maybe just, people don't have time. I don't always comment on everything that I like, or maybe people don't even like it. Who knows? No one comments. Until I accidentally, while I was uploading a video, I accidentally hit a button and it showed that comments awaiting approval. And I'm like, well, what is this all about? And then I saw 4 years worth of comments waiting for approval that I just didn't know I was supposed to approve comments. I thought they just showed up. Or maybe there is a setting that needs to be changed, whatever it is. All these years, 4 years worth of comments. And there were several. And I started, just approving them. They're nice comments. I started approving them and I responded to the newest ones. But because it felt really weird to, respond to 4-year-old comment where the person who commented has forgotten. And it was like, my goodness, all this time that I thought no one commented. People commented and I was supposed to approve them and I just didn't know it. So it was like one of those facepalm moments. But yeah, if you left a comment and you didn't see your comment immediately show up, that is what was happening. And it's not because I do not approve of your comment. I very much appreciate it. It's just that I didn't know. I'm learning. I'm very new at doing YouTube regularly, and I'm learning. So I'm glad sometimes, what you think is not a good thing actually turns out to be a good thing. I thought, oh my God, I hit a wrong button, I lost my video or something happened, and yet it was really leading me to knowing that, hey, there are people who are wanting to interact with you. If you would only just approve the comments and respond to them. I did, but yeah, I'm sorry I didn't know this before. So other than that, what else? Oh yeah, my youngest gave me this coffee mug and I loved it. Loved it. I think hope is my favorite four-letter word. It was so good. I loved it. I'm reading a book on fear. Let me see if I can grab the book real quick. So yeah, this is the book. Fear is just a four-letter word. And I have only read the introduction. This has got nothing to do with art. It's life in general, which of course is going to inform art eventually. But I felt like, I started reading it and I resonated with, even just with the introduction, I could resonate a lot with some of the experiences that the author was talking about. It's by Tracy Tutor. Found this book was in my library and I'm glad I got the book. And this is this was part of my youngest daughter's homework, and she had to write and she had to do cut-ups and all that. So she wrote her name, the date, and then helper mommy. And it's like, oh my God, after the homework came back, I just cut this strip and now it's working as a bookmark. But eventually I'm going to save it in some way because mommy is spelled wrong, but who cares, right? So on that note, my next task to do would be to get some charcoal rounds and maybe finish some more abstract paintings, and yeah, maybe also figure out the top from the bottom. With that, I'm going to say enjoy your week, and I'm going to see you next week with a vlog for the week of May 9, 2022. Bye.